What's up, you guys? We're here at the shop. We're going to be talking about Konami's new ban list that they just dropped yesterday. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so we're going to get started with the ban section of the list. So to start off, we have Protos. Obviously, this card was something we probably all expected. It doesn't let you play the game if they call dark and you are playing a dark-based strategy. Also, it doesn't let you play the game if you're playing, like, for example, a bird deck. If they have a wind monster, they can just pop the wind monster. Now you're locked out of winds. So it locks you out of certain strategies, which kind of like Emptiness does, and Oppression and Maxi, stuff like that. So it's kind of a floodgate in a sense, and it's highly searchable. So does it deserve the ban? I think it does. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it does deserve the ban. But I honestly, I think it was a weird place in the format because, like, people were calling darks, and then nobody was really summoning darks other than, like, Ominous Omen, or like PK wasn't really a strategy at the moment. So like I said, I don't think it was a crazy card. I just expected it to be banned because a lot of people were complaining about it, and sometimes complaining does get cards banned. So let's move on to the next one. We have Eva. Eva is a pretty tricky one. I don't think it deserved to be banned. I think it was fine at 1. I think the issue with Drytron was Ben 10. Ben 10 probably should have just been banned. If you want to kill off Drytron, you kind of still did it with Eva, but I think Ben 10 would have been a better choice maybe. I know you do kill Cyber Angels, but Eva was very good for the fairy strategy that I'm pretty sure they're going to print in Ghost from the Past 2. Pretty sure, because I know they've been condensing the structure decks into some sets. So you do hinder the fairy stuff coming out, and then now you just you killed off Drytron, which is fine. We all wanted that. It's an older deck, but I guess that one is that one's iffy for me. I can't really say how I feel on that one. Not surprised though. And then we have the next one is a card that I knew was gonna get banned. I actually put this on my Facebook around January 16th. I put that Morph was getting banned, Protos, Order. We'll be seeing if those cards are on the list. But I know I put Morph on there because if you read the card, it's pretty absurd. I know the OCG kind of still abuses it in their tier like 1.5 decks. But here it was kind of like, I think Bird was kind of like tier 1, maybe tier 0.5, especially if it wins the role. So just summoning a Morph, if they don't have a Nibiru, it's pretty absurd. You can't target it, so it keeps summoning each end phase. It's pretty much like a Union Carrier on steroids. So yeah, that deserved it. That kind of, I'm gonna be honest, the bird, like, you can't play a bird strategy anymore. It won't be as aggro as you need it to be. So now you got to play more of a Tri-Brigade-esque grind strategy with birds. So I don't even need to see the rest of the list. I do think birds are not the best deck right now. So going on to the next one, we're going with Order. Not surprised here. Not surprised at all. We all knew Order was probably going to get banned. Konami doesn't like floodgate strategies usually. That's not the case. We don't know what goes on down there in the R&D, but I strongly felt like Order deserved to be banned, and this was something we don't even got to talk about. Just you limit spell, you shut down spells. Everyone's going to be kind of salty about that, so that's understandable. Honestly, too, the errata on that card makes no sense. It's just like one more standby phase you got to pay. I'm confused on that. I don't know who made that decision, but it is what it is. Let's go down. We're gonna pretty cool one, Astrograph. I kind of hoarded some Astrographs because I knew this was gonna happen. If you don't have Electromite, Astrograph doesn't do anything. And also, too, Pendulums are a glass cannon strategy, and until they make Pendulum cards do something, like let's say if your Scales were to do something, then it wouldn't be as glass cannon, and obviously anti-spell being a card and D-barrier, so it's going to make Pendulum a very glass cannon strategy unless they print some crazy stuff in the future. But for now, I think Astrograph's fine at 1, nothing crazy. I think it should go to 3. Then we have Destrudo. Destrudo is a tricky one. I don't think it's that good. Even when it was at 3, I never thought the card was broken. I thought it was fine. Pay high for life points, summon it. It's kind of just an extender tuner. Like, at that point, you can just play at Hera. Like, I don't see it's decent. Like, you can put it at 3, it's fine. Then we have Snow. Snow's a cool one. Snow's a little bit degenerate. It can get pretty toxic sometimes. I don't know. We'll see. I know the OCG still utilizes it. But at 1, we'll see. It should be fine. I know Beatrice can send it in other strategies, shooting riser, stuff like that. So we'll see. I think that should have stayed banned. I don't think it was necessary. You're not going to sell newer sets, or you're not going to sell newer decks because of that one card. I don't think it really... Lawn decks are dead because Lawn is banned, but we'll see. So now we have Miscellaneousaurus. Sorry, my apologies. We have Luna Light Tiger. So Luna Light Tiger, that card can go to 3. I think that rank 4 strategy is still good. I don't think it could be tier 1 like it used to. So Luna Light Tiger, rank 4 turbo, I think that's... And you make Luna Light decks playable for the rogue strategies. Going down, Recital starting to 1. I strongly believe that that was unnecessary, because you could have still made birds are new. For a company that wants to promote sales, I would feel like maybe this should have stayed at 2 to sell like legendary season 8. But honestly, I believe that most of these under season 8s are for casual play and anime lovers. So maybe that really doesn't change sales that much. So I would say that's odd one. I don't think it was necessary, and unfortunately, yeah, that means like the bird deck is just it's not as aggro as it once was. It will be more of a defensive, aggressive strategy. And then we have Monster Gate to 1. I'm gonna be honest, that's random, and that's just random. I can't say anything other than that. Pretty random. That card has no place there. I think could be at 3. And then we have Desires at 1, which I put on my Facebook. That Desires would be the one. I think the card's too broken. You can't be drawing 2 in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! It makes no sense to like make the 5-card rule and then you draw 2 when you go first, because then you kind of defeat the whole 5-card rule thing. And then it's like, if they win the roll, then they just have so much advantage because they're starting with the same amount of cards as you, plus they get to go first. So probably should be banned. Honestly, it's just too broken of a card, and I think we'll see a ban one day, honestly. And then, yeah, so now we're going to move on to the semi-limited list. Usually, Konami doesn't touch this side of the list too much. It's when cards go to 2. So we have A Hero Lives. That's at 2. That's kind of wild. I know all Hero fans are rejoicing all over the world for this. I don't think that card is healthy for the game. It's like usually one card, like basically FTKs and stuff like that are generated off that card. So is it a really aggro card? Yes. Is it high, how would I say the word? Is it high risk, high reward? Yes. But yeah, we'll see how that goes in the meta. Heroes, I guess Manly's at 2, so it needed a boost. Fusion Destiny at 2. Doesn't change anything. Make some less starter cards in your deck, because that is a starter card essentially. It's like a draw 2 on the next turn, summon them on negate, a popping card. So that's kind of crazy that's at 2. But you know, I think it's not going to change much of those strategies. That fusion. Nadir Servant at 2, I think that's necessary. That card alone is like a Pot of Greed as well, but it does have its side effects. You know, it's not like Pot of Desire draw 2. It's search a card, and then whatever you send off your extra deck, that usually sends you another card in the end phase. So it's pretty slow. I don't think that card needed to go to 2. Is it absurd? Yes, but is it more for like slower type of decks to make them to get them a little bit of speed? Yes, but I never saw a card as such an issue like other cards what we've been seeing on this list. We have Circle, which should be at 3. That's fine. That deck is pretty much dead. Scapegoat, that is at Scapegoat is at 2, which I don't think that should really affect the meta at all. And then, sorry you guys, door opened, customer walked in. Scapegoat's at 2, so I don't think that's gonna do anything at all. Too slow. Set a card. You know, unless they can unless they can't beat over 4 tokens or it's an end phase resolution, you know, it's not pretty much that good at all. Nessie at 3. I knew that would happen. You know, that's pretty obvious. Dangers can come back. I think it's not as good as it used to be. Skullcrab at 3. We all saw that coming. Darkness, Metal, E-Telly, Regeki. Those are all pretty much cards that haven't seen much meta play and don't really affect the game at 3 at all. Skill Drain is probably the biggest thing on this list at 3, just because it alters the game, because it is a 3 of, and it could literally shut off you know, your whole 1/3 of your deck, which would be monsters, you know. So unfortunately, that's a card and that's a thing. And you know, hopefully Konami understands that that's not necessary. If you want to make the TCG how you make it, which is like a slower paced game, Japan's very fast, and cards that are toxic are usually at 3. But we'll see how that goes. I know a lot of complaining. I know Access Code Talker alone gets rid of skill drain, so that's a fun fact, you guys. You can banish access code and then it'll resolve off the field to pop the skill drain. You are investing 4 cards into it. I don't know how that's gonna happen, but all right, you guys, I hope you guys found this video to be useful. If you guys please can go like this video, subscribe, and hit the alert bell, and watch us go mad for cards on the next video.